So, as I was saying, if I'm in the supermarket, Aiden is afraid of black people. Whereas me, if I'm in line and there's a white guy next to me, I close off and I don't discuss anything with the guy at all. I don't care. But if the guy behind me is a black guy, I always strike up a conversation.
Why?
Huh?
Why do you?
Why do I?
Yeah.
I feel like, in a weird way, I desire more to interact with that person than I would a white guy. So I was in line the other day, and there was an older black gentleman behind me, right? And I just happened to glance over at the tabloids in the rack right there, and it was some god-awful picture of whatever celebrity they're saying is gonna die this week. And I said, I just looked at it, and I looked at him, and I pointed at the thing, and I said, like, who's their Photoshop guy? Like, who are they doing that? Like, they're trying to make this person look as horrible as possible so they can sell this rag. And he goes, I know, man, like, this is disgusting. It's like, and then we started talking about how these sleazy tabloids really, I mean, honestly, it's that, if you want to talk about fake news, that's fake news.
That's fake news.
And that shit shouldn't even be. It shouldn't exist. And I had a really good moment connecting with the person. Whereas, I don't know, I feel less inclined if that were a white guy, I wouldn't have said anything.
I don't think that's racist. I mean, if you're more inclined,
and obviously whatever, like, again, I call it racist only because I'm more inclined to talk to the black guy than the white guy. Like, I realize that I'm not really discriminating, and what I'm doing doesn't hurt somebody's chances of getting a job or an apartment or a loan or something like that, or a house. It has nothing to do with that. But, like, I feel like since I don't identify with their... Hold on 1 second. I don't identify with their story, obviously, because of the intrinsic differences of the way we're treated. I have my privilege, and they probably do not, and I can't say that with any definite. Maybe they're doing just fine, right? But I don't know their story.
Yep.
I only know the narrative that's thrown out by our media. So
see, that's what. Yeah.
So it's like, it's in a way, like, I guess I feel pushed in a way to learn. Like, there's a guy that maybe I wouldn't run in the same circles with. I'm going to talk to him, and if he doesn't like it, then I guess I won't. But, I'll see how he's doing. I'm not going to say, hey, I'm a white guy, and I really care about your people's oppression. That wasn't anything to do with it. It's like, who are you as a person? Like, you seem like a nice fellow. Let's have a little chat here for a minute, and then we'll go our separate ways. But whereas a white guy, like, honestly, I see a white dude, and it's a 50-50 shot that guy has some political views that I would really find abhorrent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so now that you helped me distill it down a little bit, I know you still got your hand up. Just 1 second. You wait at the back of the class there.
No, I thought about something I haven't thought about years for.
In a way, it's like,
Thank you. That was really nice.
I almost feel like, even if you wanted to get down to that base level of politically, I would probably have more in common with the black guy than the white guy. So, I don't know. I just found it kind of weird.
So humanity.
Yeah, I mean...
Right, yeah, but that's... Yeah.
So humanity.
I had to sit on a street corner once while my ex was trying to apply for, or interviewing for a job, and downtown Seattle. And I was watching people go by. And honestly, there was only one person that passed me that whole time. It was like a half hour that I thought I could hold a conversation with. Because nobody there I identified with at all. I didn't feel a kinship with any single one person except for this one guy. Again, it was this old black guy smoking a cigar walking down the street. And I'm like, I want to talk to that guy.
Wow.
That guy has a story. Guy chewing on a stogie at noon, walking through Seattle.
Oh my gosh, he was way out there already.
I want to talk to that guy.
You never want to
Like-
talk to anybody at noon with a stogie.
Like that, that
That's a given.
guy with the Sex Pistols jacket and the purple hair. I've seen a million of those guys. I don't need to talk to him.
No way. Why would you? Really?
Why would I? I've known plenty of people like that. I know that story. I don't need to hear that story again.
What's the story again?
My parents don't love me.
I know, right?
That's not to say that everybody with purple hair had parents who didn't love them. Like, I had purple hair for a while, but I didn't have a sex.
You had more hair than I did when I was your age. And yeah, because never mind me older than you, but
anyway, I guess it really boils down to the fact that I feel bad that Aiden has had such a... Oh, sorry. It's Child of Doom. Has had... I know, I've already dropped the name. That he's already had such a bad experience in middle school that, he's already sort of carrying that on. And
I swear.
I'm hoping he's getting better exposure to other people that aren't total dicks. And I'm not saying that the kids that he went to school with aren't. I'm sure plenty of the white kids, though, were dicks, too. It's just... I don't know. He just sort of sees that. His Korean class, he almost didn't learn anything, and because there were a couple of specific kids who were very disruptive. They actually made the teacher cry all the time.
Every day.
And... and I keep telling him, you can't blame an entire group of people based on those couple of kids in your class. But, he's a teenager, so everything he's seeing is really kind of black and white right now.
I think that kid somehow purposely just come out to see what kind of moment he's gonna... Aiden came out here. Just...
Remember the video?
I really remember that
Okay,
video.
then don't speak
I was
about it.
stopping. He came out in the stand all by his own himself, naked, just with his trouser.
Oh, I saw. I was there.
And I'm like, really? You are the teenager who's like smart. I think Aiden's like thinking, let me see how far I will push my mom. And he walks in here, he and that Mikey Lee, and the kid was sitting right there. Aiden is right. He's like, Mom, I'm cold. Yeah. I'm like, I swear he's supposed to, I know Aiden's doing this. Just pisses Mom off. You see how far. He's like, come here, Maliki. Come there next to me. She looked at me and was like,
I did not. Okay. Be like your daddy.
She's even told him that before. She's like, I don't care if you're gay or whatever. Just, I get a grandbaby.
Yeah.
Get me a grandbaby. That's all I want.
yeah. We love it with children. He's like, putting the thing over here. I'm like, and it's smelling burned. So I'm pushing it out because I'm sitting right here. And he's talking to Malachi and saying all this thing. And we went to a whole new different conversation. And she's looking at me and she said, honey, whatever you want to do, we're going to talk to Morgan. So finally, she looked at Malachi. Oh, my, is that his name?
You did it right. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And he finally got down there with Aiden. And Aiden decided, well, damn it. That's not what I wanted.
Didn't freak Mom out.
Let's see how long I can hold my breath till I pass out. Really, bitch?
Do you know your mother?
Do you not know your mother? She don't tell you you could lay down with your boyfriend? But no. You have to say, I'm going to hold my breath.
And then what happened?
And she's looking at me like, I'm like,
So what happened? I said, okay, hold your breath.
hold your breath, honey.
Because the thing is you can't hold your breath to die. Because that's what the boys were talking about. They said, I've heard, it's real that if you hold your breath long enough, you'll die. And I said, no, you won't. I said, the most you'll do is pass out on the floor and wake up a couple minutes later because your brain didn't get so much oxygen. So they both sitting down there,
Right there.
They're already snuggled up in the blanket together. Well,
So we decided they're gay.
So
At this point.
Malachi didn't go the whole full Monty, but Aiden did. So he held it and stuff, and you could see him fall back, but he fell back like Bugsy falls back. That slow.
I'm falling, but I shall
Okay,
catch
I should-
myself at the
yes.
last.
But pay attention to me anyway.
Very, very dramatic.
So I saw what Aiden was doing, and I'm just like, and Malachi looks back at him. He looks at me, he looks at Yo, and I was like, he'll be up in a minute. First of all, I know you didn't pass out because you didn't knock your head on nothing. It was not that quick. So you didn't actually pass out. But I'm going to pretend like you passed out because I'm your mama. I can play that game.
Oh my goodness, my baby. I had better find out if he is okay.
However, I did not get down on the damn
Morgan,
floor.
get to it.
I didn't get out on the floor and check him out. Nothing. I saw you. Okay. You fell backwards slowly. Means you still have your senses. But go on. We didn't have to talk about it. Her already knew.
Why do we know? Oh, we know about Aiden. Thank God.
So yeah, that's my story about me being racist. End of the day. Although I do find it. One thing I do find interesting is it. Huh?
Don't.
So is that when I went in today, I went up the frozen foot because I actually bought some apple ale just in case William wanted one. I forgot to tell him it was there though.
Because I saw it, yes.
Yeah,
I saw it in there,
I forgot to tell him I bought it. But
He might need one after he's done with Bugsy tonight.
I was walking up that aisle
3.
and there was a family of 5.
Right.
Okay, and so mom, dad, and then 3 kids. The smallest one couldn't have been much older than Bugsy, but maybe 3, between 3 and 4. And the kids were sort of like they didn't know which way to go as I was coming up there, and the mom and dad like, oh, by the way, family's black. Hence the whole story.
Yeah.
So I have my cart pushing along, and I generally have no expression as I'm walking through the place. So I look up, I look at the kid who doesn't know what to do to get out of my way. This little 3-year-old, and it's not like I was, I'm gonna get you. Like I slowed down and I stopped, and the dad who had to be at least half a head taller than me, he looked at me and then he looked, oh, hey, get out of the way. What are you doing? Come on, get out of the way. And so, and I just waited patiently and I smiled. Hopefully with all my facial hair, I don't look creepy when I smile at strangers.
No.
So cute.
But I smiled. So the little kid scooted out of the way, so I started going by, and he, really apologized to me.
No way.
Well, and one thing's like, sorry, man, and no problem, right? But when I go by, it wasn't like that a flippant, oh, sorry.
Sorry, man.
It was, I'm really sorry. Like a serious, heartfelt apology.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's all right. You have 3 to worry about. I'm not in a big hurry. I'm just going over. This is beer aisle. There's beer, right?
Yeah.
Not a big deal. So I go by. I'm like, it's all right. No problems. So I get up the way, and I just felt like why would he be worried that I would be upset, right? But anyway, I could hear him and his, I'll assume, wife saying that they were asking about. Oh, he came up to where the cream cheese was, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I think I'm looking for the sour cream. It's right here." And I'm like, "Actually, no, it's not. It's actually it's down there at the end cap on the left, and right down there and to the left." He's like, "Oh, thanks, man." And it's like, "Cool, no problem." And then it was like I felt like even though that was such a weird little minor interaction, it was really positive, and I was like, "Oh, that was kind of neat." But at the same time, he didn't need to be that sorry.
I know, right?
I was just happy to help. So.
And you do that. That's.
And there we go.
Boom.